Good afternoon, everyone. So, to state the obvious, Encaenia is a formal event. After all, we are all here in our finery. It is a beautiful ceremony, and the beauty comes from its formality. But Encaenia is also joyous. So let's bring that joy to the surface right away. So our graduands look beautiful. And I'm sure when they came in, their family and friends was filled with joy at seeing them in their beauty. But let's express that by rising and giving them, our graduands, a standing ovation. I can feel us loosening up, so let's keep going. Now, graduands and guests. This one's for our platform party, including the King's and Dalhousie faculty and the college staff who have made such immense and loving contributions to the education we celebrate by conferring a degree. A round of loud and boisterous applause to show your gratitude and appreciation to them. So graduates, we are here to celebrate you, but we all know, and you know, that the credit for your accomplishment is shared with your parents, your grandparents, partners, siblings, and the other members of your family, as well as your friends who are here supporting you to the end. Graduates, please rise and turn to your families and friends and lead us in an ovation for them. So, welcome to our 230th Encaenia, especially to our graduates and to their families and their guests. At King's, we only have one Encaenia, whereas Dalhousie has almost 20 convocations. But we make ours last. So those of you who brought snacks, be prepared to share with others. Along with Elder Jerry, we recognize and acknowledge that we gather on unceded Mi'kmaq territory, mindful that we share in the bounty of this land, of this territory, by way of the treaties the Mi'kmaq negotiated with the British Crown before there was a King's College or a Dalhousie University. They are not treaties for the Mi'kmaq only, but treaties between them and the Crown, which establish the legal foundations of our society. We all live here by their authority. Thank you to Dalhousie University for hosting this Encaenia in the Rebecca Cone, including for letting us make this part of Dalhousie look and feel like King's. It's not a bad metaphor for a ceremony that is simultaneously a King's Encaenia and a Dalhousie convocation, or for an institutional partnership that does a pretty good job blending independence and autonomy with integration and collaboration. Thank you, Interim President Peter McKinnon, for joining me in officiating in the conferral of degrees, and thank you also for being a gracious colleague during your term at the helm of Dalhousie. Thanks to Deans Frank Harvey, Chris Moore, and Marty Leonard for playing such important roles in our Encaenia. Greetings to our alumni, to members of the King's Board of Governors, including Board Chair Doug Ruck, and to all friends of King's. A particular welcome to my predecessor, Dr. George Cooper, to KSU President Levi Clarkson, to special guest Justice Heather Robertson, and to special guest the Honorable Patricia Arab, Minister of Communications and Internal Services in the Government of Nova Scotia, who is also my former neighbor from Linwood Drive and a reclaimed alumna of King's. Graduates, I have already used most of my allotted time, so I will get to the point. Of course, I want to congratulate you on your graduation, but forgive me if I do so by reminding you of the oath you gave at your matriculation. After taking that oath, you became a member of the college by signing the matricula. Like all the students who have become members of the college since 1789. With apologies to those fluent in Latin, the oath went like this: Ego in universitata collegii regalis discipulis sancti policor me legibus parterum. Traditionisque milores eius culturum, ita u praeceptus eius convivuende iridescenique oboidium. Nec non ipsus academia dignitatem atque salutum quantum in me fuit per reliquum vitam procuratorium. Now, I realize that as learned as you now all are, some of you may not speak much more Latin than you did when you came to King's. So here's the oath in English. I, a student of the University of King's College, do solemnly promise that I will obey her regulations and best traditions in order to serve the precepts of communal life and learning, and that for the rest of my life, so you may know where I'm going with this, so far as in me lies, I will care for the honor and welfare of this college. Now, during your studies at King's and Dalhousie, you have not only been subject to the best traditions of King's and to the precepts of communal life and learning, you have added to those traditions and also challenged some of them, a source of vitality in any university that takes its traditions seriously. You have, like each generation who has gone before, defined for yourselves the precepts of communal life and learning by which you have been guided. In both respects, we are thankful for what you have thereby given to King's, to each other, and to those of us staying behind to carry on the life of King's here in Halifax in association with Dalhousie. We look forward to learning of your contributions to other communities and to our world, building on what you have learned and given here by living out your commitment in your matriculation oath. Students and alumni explain their love to King's in the language of community. They mention many features and qualities or examples of community at King's. But as I listen, all the stories come down to the people and the relationships, to belonging, and a sense of living not just with others, but for others. Listening to alumni, I am often reminded of one of my favorite Neil Young songs, the one that starts with the line, and relax, I won't sing. There is a town in North Ontario, and includes the evocative line, all my changes were there. It seems to capture the core of what our grads feel as they look back and reflect on the indelible mark left on them by King's and their King's friends. It is here they have experienced the changes that have made them who they are, ready to meet changes that are a never-ending part of life. The two perspectives, living for others and being transformed in the process, of course, go together. Recently, Canada and the world lost the great humanitarian and wise elder, Jean Vanier. He is known around the world as the founder and spiritual leader of l'Arche, the network of communities in which those the world labels as disabled live in equality with those who know they need the love, guidance, and example of those living with disability. Vanier believed the purpose of the communities was not to provide services, but to give all members of each community, each taking turns being the carer and the cared for, the opportunity to lead a good life by, he said, becoming human. King's philosophy is not so different. Here, community is not a byproduct of teaching and learning, or even a mechanism of teaching and learning. It is our purpose, It is why a King's education in association with Dalhousie is about becoming human. That work, of course, is the work of a lifetime. And this brings me to the second part of the promise you made on matriculation days, that you would, for the rest of your life, as far as able, care for the honor and welfare of the college. So today you join the community of more than 11,000 King's alumni living around the world and working in every imaginable career, demonstrating what one alumnus suggested to me should be the King's tagline: "From here, you can go anywhere." Get plugged into that community by being active in your alumni association, which, like so many things at King's, is, of course, the oldest alumni association in Canada. That is the best way to stay connected to King's and a very good way to stay connected with each other. And it's also a great way to meet your kindred spirits from other generations of King's students. Trust me, I've met them. You'll have more in common with them than you think. As you become alums, remember your name is in the matricula, with those of all who have gone before and all who will come in the years ahead. It is not only there to be of an antiquarian interest when your success in life has made you a matter of historical interest. It is there to show you are a member of this community, this collegii regalis, for the rest of your life. You will always belong to King's, and you will always be welcomed back with open arms and gladness on your return. But equally, King's will always belong to you, in common with all the others who have signed in the matricula. So let us continue to hear your voice about King's and its future, as you have made it heard during the years of your degree. Do so understanding you also have an obligation, as members of all communities always do, to stay engaged and informed on King's so that you can contribute to its future, and thereby to the futures of those who will be matriculated in the years to come. In doing so, share your love for King's with those for whom King's, with Dalhousie, is the right university. In other words, and to be really blunt, do your bit to let more people in on the great hidden treasure that is King's. Encaenia means beginning or commencement. Part of what now begins is the new phase of your lifelong relationship with King's and with each other through King's. With all my board colleagues and faculty and staff colleagues, and with all of our alumni, we look forward to that continuing relationship, and we hope you do also. So matriculation ends with the president saying, "Actore tate mea admitto de scrupulus in universitate nostra collegii regalis. Servate leges preceptaque, foete traditiones eius preclaris." By my authority, my favorite bit, I admit you in as students in our university, King's College. Keep her rules and precepts, cherish her excellent traditions. Graduates, as you embark on your new adventure of life after King's and Dalhousie, I close by repeating to you this part of the matriculation ceremony with some modification called for by the context as follows. Members of the class of 2019, go forth as members of our University of King's College, keeping her rules and precepts and cherishing her excellent traditions on your journey of living for others and becoming human. Enjoy this wonderful day which you have made, and congratulations.